Hey you guys, Jennifer Bagley, CEO of CI Web Group. Wanted to take a minute. We're getting ready. I'm here with Miss Kathy Marshall. We're getting ready for an event here in Houston, and I wanted to explain a little bit about our maintenance program for websites. So here's how this works. When you build a website, you have a database, MySQL, and then you have an installation of WordPress, which is a content management system. And within that content management system, you have plugins, a whole bunch of them. So you don't want to have too many plugins, but you're going to have things that may make things work. So it may be functionality for your CRM, it might be a financing integration, it might be a slider or a rotator or a testimonial system or an apply online button. There are plugins. Plugins are built by third parties or by us, by developers. So we have plugins that we own and manage, such as the SARE calculator, troubleshooter, the FAQ area, terminology area, and so forth. So when it comes to maintenance, if you have a website that doesn't have a brain, there is no database, there is no WordPress, there is no plugins, it doesn't have business logic or coding behind it that requires maintenance, then you basically have a piece of paper, which is like a graphic that is out on the internet, and that doesn't require a lot of maintenance. Now, when you build a website that has a brain, there are pros and cons. So a pro is you have a website with a brain, which means it can do a lot more. A con is it's a challenge. So anytime we have a website, we have to have 3 servers. I'm going to use a piece of paper because that's all I have here. Okay, 1 server, live website. Another server, dev site, also known as a staging site. So dev, development, staging. When you are building a brand new website, that staging site is what they're going to build it on. It's technically a dev site then. If you have a live website and they need to make an exact copy of that to do things like updates and testing and changes and so forth to make sure things work instead of editing the site in a live environment, then you're going to have a staging site, which is a clone of your website at that given time, and that's usually where changes are made. In addition, you need to have a backup server. The backup server, no matter who you're working with, you should have daily backups, and it should be backup and hold, which means if I need to revert a website back to Thursday at 2 o'clock, I can. If I need to revert back to 3 weeks ago, I can. Reason why, when you build a website with a brain, you probably spend a lot of money on it, and you want to protect your asset. You don't want that to potentially be gone. And that's possible. That's real. There is no such thing as a safe website. It doesn't exist. The biggest companies in the world get hacked. So you want to have all your things in place. You don't want the website to get old. You want to make sure you have a maintenance program, not just a hosting program. So a lot of people get confused with, I can host with GoDaddy for $10. Yes, you can. And your website plugins will not be updated. WordPress will not be updated. Your database, your MySQL database will not go through compressions. It will not have the same level of security and patches, and people won't be looking at the code to see, is there something vulnerable on the site that could allow somebody to exploit the site or install malware or something that could damage your website or those who are visiting your website. So, updates, that's part of maintenance. WordPress is an engine that has code that is updated all the time, week over week over week. So we monitor those updates and determine, is it time to upgrade? So we don't always be the first to upgrade because sometimes new versions have problems. It's like if you own an iPhone and they do an update, you might want to wait until the rest of the planet has updated their iPhone, or at least enough of them to see, are there any issues with that update? That's why you have an update, and then you have versions. Versions are to repair patches or holes or problems or things that are broken. When WordPress updates, all these plugins may or may not work anymore. So that's part of maintenance, is identifying, do the plugins work with the latest or newest version of WordPress? Are there any conflicts? Are there any issues? Is it going to break? Did it break? Which is quite possible. Every time WordPress updates, every time plugins update, you have a high possibility of something not working. APIs become disconnected. Things don't talk to each other the same way anymore. So think about it this way. When you sell an HVAC system, if you sold an air conditioner and you had the client sign up for a maintenance plan, you can't sit next to that system 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and watch it to see if something breaks. You can come out and you can do maintenance, you can do an inspection on it here and there, and you can check it to see if things are broken, but no one that I know of can pay for someone to sit next to it and watch it to see if it has any issues. So it's the same thing in the web world. You do not want to install a new air conditioner and spend X number of $1,000 and not get a maintenance plan. You do not want to purchase a new website and just host it in someone's backyard and let it sit there and not have a maintenance plan. It needs to be updated. It needs to be updated on a regular basis. And with websites, we're talking about a technology that changes every single week. So, is your website going to break? The answer is yes. Sometimes you're going to find it first. Sometimes we're going to find it first. This is a team effort. And anybody that tells you that a website is not going to break or not going to have problems is not telling the truth. So what you want is you want to make sure that you guys, you have a good relationship with your web company and that you can submit a ticket and get it resolved. Submit a ticket, get it resolved. Submit a ticket, get it resolved without having to pay every time you do that. So that's what maintenance plan does. It is hosting, that's the cost for all of your servers, backups, security, and just to put things in perspective, for one of our servers, I just got the report, we blocked over 1 million security threats. Updates to WordPress, updates to your plugin, verification, validation that they worked. Also, when something not works, it's called break fix management or help desk support. So you submit a help desk ticket, it gets fixed. Help desk, it gets fixed. That's simple. That's what a maintenance plan is. So you want to be careful. Anything that is hosting only is probably not going to properly care for your investment like you want it to, and it's could be dangerous and cause you to miss out on or lose pretty significant investment. So we've seen people who have went what I call the triple F route, friends, family, and fools, and quickly came back after there was a problem and they couldn't resolve it, or they lost their website and there was no backup or something crazy. So we've learned all of the hard lessons you could imagine growing up in this industry, and no hosting only. You should have a maintenance plan. That being said, if we build the site, we would prefer to take care of it. So do we have people that have us build websites and they go host it themselves? Yes. Do a lot of those people come back and ask us to host it? Absolutely. We would prefer to maintain that site because we care. So the second you start a new web project, we set up your server right then, which is why maintenance starts from day one. The second we install WordPress, we start maintenance right then. Just because your website's not live doesn't mean it doesn't still need updates, still need plugin updates, still need backups. If you're developing a website, the same thing can happen to a dev site, which is devabccompany.staging.com. So doesn't matter if your site's live or not. Still have to have a place to host it, maintenance it, take care of it, still need support, still need to have all those things going, which is why it starts immediately. I think that's good. So hopefully this helps. You guys let us know if you have any more questions.